welcome to this U10 basketball tournament. It's the final day here. We are at Bedford South School, and this game is featuring the Rockets taking on the West End Steelers. The Rockets wearing the black with red and white trim, and that shot goes up just off the rim. Rebounded smartly there. And points on the board. And on the other side, the Steelers wearing the maroon with the silver and white trim. They're going left to right on your screen. They've got the ball now. Bounce pass there from LeBlanc. Shot put up. That goes off the rim. Couple of players there for the rebound, and that's going to be Rockets ball. So the Rockets to inbound. First of two games here this afternoon from Bedford South School, home of the Eagles. With the ball, that's DeVoe. Two DeVoes on this team. Nayana and Nayera. That shot just off the side of the rim. Rebound is loose. Couple of players battling for it. And you see there, that ball ripped away, but it'll be into the hands of the Steelers. Steelers will bring it up the floor with Liz LeBlanc. LeBlanc, bounce pass. Nice job there getting in the way by Nayana DeVoe. Battle for it again. And it's taken away by McCauley. Sadie McCauley gets the ball back there to Liz LeBlanc. LeBlanc dribbling off to her left. Nice bounce pass. Shot from the baseline, a little bit short. And it's quickly grabbed there by Madeline Foote. Foote puts on the brakes, dishes over there to Lawrence. Lawrence fends off the defender, puts the shot up high off the glass. And it'll be Steelers ball. So just underway here at the gymnasium in Bedford South School. Home of the Eagles, as I mentioned. A nice crowd on hand here today for this U10 game between the West End Steelers and the Rockets. That shot put up just off the side of the backboard. So both teams just getting into the flow of the game here. Steelers to inbound. Scott Squires, the Maritime Athletic Profile crew here with you. This is McCray. McCray put the shot up. Took some contact. Nayana DeVoe guilty of the foul. That's going to send Marley McCray to the line. McCray wearing number 1 for this West End Steelers squad. She's got those high socks on, as do some of her teammates as well. And the first of two is good. From the line again, Marley McCray. So Marley McCray again from the line. And 2 of 2 on that trip, so a good trip to the line there for Marley McCray and the Steelers. And the Rockets will bring the ball up the floor. Nayana DeVoe. As mentioned, one of 2 DeVoes on this team, Nayana and Nayera. There's Lawrence now, backing down the defender, trying to find some room to get the shot away. Couple of bounces off the iron, and down it goes, the bucket for Zaylee Lawrence. Some good work there down low by number 2 in the black and red of the Rockets. Now the Steelers right back the other way. That shot is put up off the backboard. Good job on the rebound there by Nayana DeVoe. Turned around though, turnover. There's the shot off the iron a couple times as McCray put it up. Steelers box out, grab the offensive rebound. Charging in is Liz LeBlanc. Down to the deck goes Lawrence for the Rockets, and the Rockets will come away with it now. Charging up the floor, this is Foote. Foote trying to back down the defender. Into the paint, hands it off there for Lawrence. Lawrence trying to find somewhere to go with the ball. She was surrounded by defenders. And she takes the contact. That's going to send Zaylee Lawrence to the line. Lawrence using her height to her advantage when she gets that ball down in the low post. And she's got a couple of free throws. Off target on the first. She'll reset and go again, getting a little love from her teammates. Charlie Bond-Hill came over to give a little support to Lawrence. Lawrence now the back end of the 2 free throws. Couldn't find the range on the second. Just a great crowd on hand here again on a chilly Sunday afternoon. It's Juno weekend in the Halifax Regional Municipality, but we're glad to have you with us for basketball this afternoon. Charging in, trying to get something down low was Liz LeBlanc. And a couple of Rockets players down to the floor. So we've got a timeout here. So just underway in this one. Rockets and the Steelers. No score update, no score showing over on the digital scoreboard across from us here at center court. We weren't sure whether or not they'd be keeping score in these games. Typically they do not, at least not visible to the crowd, or in this particular case, the viewers at home. Our intrepid producer Clark has been keeping track. He has it at 2-2, but again, very unofficial. Not that Clark isn't official, he's an official guy. But in terms of the actual score, unofficially, producer Clark has it at 2-2. And we've got Liz LeBlanc going to the line, double L. Taking free throws here for the Steelers. Liz LeBlanc sets. And just off the mark with the first attempt. She'll reset and try again. Coach of the Rockets telling them to box out, get that rebound. Second shot just off the mark. Rebound grabbed there. Nayana DeVoe tried to move it up the floor, and it goes out of play, and it'll be Steelers ball. Meredith Rigby looking for somewhere to inbound. She gets it into the hands of McCray. McCray, long distance, just off the mark. In on the rebound there is Zaylee Lawrence, and Lawrence will bring it up the floor for the Rockets. Lawrence tosses it ahead right into the waiting arms of McCray. McCray protects the ball, then dishes off to her teammate. And away come the Steelers with pace in transition. Trying to get something set up here. Nice little dish off into the hands of McCauley. Her shot hits back iron. Good job underneath grabbing that rebound. McCray put the shot up, and the ball grabbed by Lawrence as the first 3:30 expires here. So they'll go to the bench. They'll get some new players on there. The next shift, if you will. So a new group of players on for both teams here, and that's kind of a cool way that they do it here. They have 3-minute and 30-second shifts, if you will. So rather than the coaches having to sub in, sub out, nice way to make sure that everybody gets equal playing time here in this U10 level. Checking in with producer Clark's score again. He's got a 2-2. I know you can see it at home, but again, keep in mind, it's really not the score that's important here. It's the competition and the fact that these players are getting to learn the game at a young age with some good coaching, getting to know what it's all about to play in a tournament and to get that tournament vibe with a good crowd on hand here. So, a lot of new players out on the floor. One of them is Malaya Simmons. Malaya Simmons goes to the left-handed dribble, cuts inside, steps back. Couldn't get enough on that shot. And it's rebounded there by Enright, Nora Enright. Shielding the ball from the defender. Hands it back to Sophie Gagne. Gagne keeps a good job of not having it be an over and back. And then we had some contact away from the ball. Good job by the referee. Just making sure everybody's okay. So that's going to be Sophie Gagne. Going to inbound the ball. She'll be watched closely there by Malaya Simmons. Gagne looking to inbound. Trying to go left, then right, then gets it into the hands of Rodney. May Rodney in a crowd. Gets it down low, shot up off the backboard and then the iron, and then underneath looking to grab that rebound was Enright for the Steelers. And it'll be Rockets ball. 2:55 left in this second shift, if you will. Again, working with that ball. Simmons. Simmons goes down, and Gagne tumbled right over top of Simmons. Gagne just checking the knee, making sure everything is okay there. Now it'll be Malaya Simmons to inbound. Gagne doing jumping jacks in front of her. Trying to stop that inbounds. Into the hands of Kiki Lucas. Lucas tried to feed it inside. That was intercepted. Here comes Piper Grant. Grant now with some pace. Down the floor. Good defense though. Ball's turned over. Right back the other way. Into a crowd goes DeVoe. That's Nayara DeVoe, one of the two DeVoes on this team. And right back the other way. Transition game. Back and forth we go. Spinning into a crowd there. That was Rodney. Enright had her shot attempt partially blocked. And now the Rockets right back the other way with Nayara DeVoe. DeVoe in a crowd, trying to hand it there to Simmons. Shot was off the mark. Kiki Lucas there, backing down the defender. Kiki Lucas turns, fires off the rim. Rebounded smartly there by Rodney. It's like a track meet here. Both teams up and down the floor. And now into the hands of Nayara DeVoe. DeVoe being watched by Gagne. DeVoe, she'll put on the brakes at the elbow. Tries to feed it inside, couldn't quite connect with Shania Colley. And here comes Piper Grant. Grant right into the defense there of Simmons. And the contact looks like it's going to be Malaya Simmons called for the foul. Gagne to inbound, again being watched by Simmons. Gets it to Rodney, her shot off the mark, right into the waiting hands of Grant, who was underneath. Grant leaves it there for Rodney. Rodney dishes off to the right. Tried to get the shot underneath with Kiki Lucas, providing some good defense there. Lucas wears number 1 for this Rocket squad. And to the line goes Nora Enright. Referee making sure that everybody in the right position here as we await the free throws from Nora Enright. Enright readies the first. Gets it away. A little too much steam on that one as it goes high off the glass. Couldn't get the little kiss. And we'll get ready for the back end of the 2 free throws from Nora Enright. Enright gets it away. Strong again off the glass. Good form from the line though. Great to see these young players learning the game. Nova Scotia has always been a powerful province in terms of basketball nationally, on the national stage. The Team Nova Scotia at the Canada Games last year, winning gold. So lots of great basketball talent. We certainly know the story of Lindell Wigginton and others. So great to see the next generation of players learning the game here. Enright takes it down low, off glass and down for 2. Nora Enright with a good move from the baseline. Now back the other way with some speed. Simmons tried to make a move there. Ball loose. Look at the fight for the ball. Great job there. Players on both teams diving across the floor, trying to grab that loose ball. Gagne again. Inbounds it to her teammate. This is Rodney. Rodney stops, dishes inside. Trying to make a move there was Enright. In a crowd, ball was knocked away. Good defense in tight by Nayara DeVoe. And now it will be Nayara who will inbound, and Malaya Simmons with that high right-handed dribble. Simmons crosses half court. Being watched there by Gagne. Look at Simmons turn on the Jets. Tried to cut right down the middle, but some good strong defense there. Stopped that, but it's turned over. And Nayara DeVoe has a chance again. And contact down low. And I think they're going to call that foul on May Rodney. And that'll send Nayara DeVoe to the line. DeVoe, one of the 2 DeVoes, Nayana and Nayara. Nayara at the line now wearing 25. Her sister wears 24. That first one off the iron to the right. Teammates come over to dap her up, getting her ready for the second of 2 here. Just 18 seconds left in this particular shift. And a fight for it underneath off that missed free throw. Battling for that ball was Enright for the Steelers and Lucas for the Rockets. Rodney with good speed. Gets it across the timeline, now into the half court, cuts off to the right, kisses it off the glass, up and down, coast to coast goes May Rodney. So a bucket for the Steelers, now the Rockets. Trying to come up the floor there was Simmons, and another loose ball just as the whistle sounds. I'm not sure if that's a whistle or a tweet. It's not exactly a horn that signifies the end of the quarter, or the shift, if you will. So they have these, again, 3-minute and 30-second shifts, if you will. Again, it allows the coaches not to worry about subbing in and out. It's a really fair and good way to make sure that everybody gets equal time on the floor, equal playing time. And my understanding is that there's 8 in total. So I'm guessing 4 3:30 shifts would be the first half, and the second half would be 4 more of those. Checking in with producer Clark. His count has it 6-2. So, fresh players on the floor again in this third shift of this opening half. Trying to work that ball inside. That was Gabby McLean. It went off a foot. Molly Ruddick trying to grab it there. That's been an impressive thing to me early on in this game, is the effort and the fight for the ball. Whenever there's a loose ball, players aren't just saying, oh, you can get it, or waiting for the ball to come to them. They're actually diving across the floor. And there's been a lot of jump ball situations where, two players get to the ball and grab onto it equally. So in this particular case, jump ball or possession arrow. But the fight for the loose ball, great to see. Obviously these teams being coached well. So we're going to have the ball inbounded just to the right of our broadcast position. Coming over is Olivia Thompson. Thompson being watched there by Malaya Monroe. So again, Steelers to inbound. Trying to bounce it inside. And we'll have it whistled down. And it's going to be Rockets to inbound. Malaya Monroe bounces it into her teammate Molly Ruddick. Ruddick being watched there by Gabby McLean, and McLean, good defense there by McLean on Ruddick. Both these teams play the aggressive D, there's no question about it. It's good to see. Here's Monroe again to inbound. Big crowd around her. Gets it up using the height of Lawrence to the advantage there. Lawrence takes it inside, gets the shot away, takes the contact. So good work getting the ball into the hands of Lawrence, again, using that height advantage for number 2 for the Rockets. And now it'll be Zaylee Lawrence going to the line. Active coaching from both sidelines. Good to see, as both coaching staff making sure that they're giving in-game instructions as this game rolls along. And again, the referee doing a nice job making sure everybody is in the right position, learning the game the right way. This is Lawrence. Launches the first a little too strong off the back of the iron. Molly Ruddick comes over to give a little low 5 to Lawrence. Gets ready for the second of 2. And banks in the second one. Big smile on her face as she goes down the floor. So 1 of 2 on that trip for the Rockets. Steelers from about 12 feet. That shot was put up out of the hands of Gabby McLean. A second shot just a little short. And the rebound grab by Rigby. Rigby there being defended by Lawrence. Rigby trying to find an opening, lost the dribble, and then jumping on it quickly was Ruddick, but they're going to call the travel. So the ball will be turned over to the Steelers, who will inbound. Coming over is Thompson, and now we've got a timeout called here. Coaching staff for the Rockets, Tanya DeVoe, Nathan Carvery, Ben Hill, and Jade Ruddick. And the coaches for the Steelers, Jason Rodney, and Kim Stiles, Mike Thompson, Aaron McCray, and Andrea Leahy. So we're going to reach over and look to my right. Producer Clark has it currently 6-3 for the Steelers over the Rockets, unofficially again. Not about the score in this one, although they will keep score because we do have to know who a winner is. But again, it really is about the competition, about learning the game. I mean, you're seeing it here in this game. The referee helping out the players, knowing where they should be positionally, whether it's on an inbounds or on a free throw. Active coaching from both sidelines as the game is going on. And even as we look across the floor now into these huddles, you can see the active coaching taking place with these players. So just, it's great to see players at this level, U10, learning the game this way. So 2:36 left in this particular shift. It'll be the Steelers to inbound. And Thompson's inbound, bounces off a couple of legs and then bouncing into a couple of spectators. Olivia Thompson gonna try again. Being watched closely there by Monroe. Monroe actively waving those hands, trying to hinder the inbounds pass, but they do get it to Rigby. Rigby dribbles along the baseline, turns, puts the shot up, and it was a bit short and goes right into the hands of Malaya Monroe. So it'll be Rockets ball. Niana DeVoe gets it into the hands of Malaya Monroe. Malaya across the timeline. Dribbling one way, then the other now turns. Goes off to the left. Turns, puts the shot up from about 12 feet, just a bit short. Rebound there from Lawrence. Lawrence with another opportunity, and again you see Lawrence down in the low post using that height advantage to her advantage, and for the Rockets, a deuce there. So good work from Lawrence and the Rockets. Now back the other way. It's McCauley, Sadie McCauley, turning, tried to dish it off there. Good hands from Ruddick, but getting it right back are the Steelers. That shot put up out of the hands of Thompson. She couldn't get the bounce off the glass and the iron, and the Rockets will bring it up the floor with Monroe, Malaya Monroe. Dishes off now, or I should say dribbles off to her right, puts the back to the defender. Comes over, gets a little help, hands the ball off into the hands of Ruddick. And then Ruddick kind of got lost there along the baseline. 1:31 to go in this shift. A 3-minute and 30-second shifts. Again, a great way for the coaches to get everybody in and not have to worry about subbing in and out. McCauley, Sadie McCauley, hands it off to Rigby. Rigby into the key, now dribbles off to the right, being watched again by Lawrence. Steelers with Thompson, trying to get the shot up, and Lawrence again just reaching out the palm to block that shot. Good defense by Zaylee Lawrence. And then down to the floor goes McCauley. She pops back up and is okay. Down to 1:01 to go in this particular shift. Olivia Thompson to inbound. Again, there you see the aggressive defense from Monroe trying to stop that inbound, and it's turned over. Ruddick tried to make a move and take it up the floor. So it's going to be Rockets ball. Niana DeVoe will inbound. Niana DeVoe into the hands of Molly Ruddick. Ruddick tries to lean into the defender. McLean with the defense there. Both these teams play an aggressive style of defense. You love to see it. Gabby McLean, head up into the half court. Now McLean tried to get it around Ruddick, lost the handle, but the Steelers stay on it. Good work there from McCauley. And then coming over trying to grab that ball away was Ruddick. And it'll be Molly Ruddick who will inbound for the Rockets. Malaya Monroe takes a look over at her bench, gets a couple of words from the coach. Crosses now into Steelers territory. Good work there from Monroe. Good handles there on the dribble. Gives a little bump to the defender, pushes off the defender, steps back, put the shot up, hit the side of the iron, and the Steelers will bring it right back up the floor. Sadie McCauley being watched there by Niana DeVoe, and DeVoe with the turnover. DeVoe right down Broadway, puts the shot up a little bit high, and the ball rebounded by McCauley. She'll bring it up again. Sadie McCauley now. on the right wing. McCauley trying to back down the defender, Monroe. Very active hands by Monroe. There's the shot, just a little short. Rebound loose underneath. A couple of players fighting for the ball as the beep, I guess the beeper. I'm not sure what to call that. I'm going to ask the folks here to my left. It's not a buzzer. It's not a horn. What's that sound that ends the? Is it like a beep? A chirp. A chirp. There's the chirp, and in a good way, not like a hockey chirp where you might get somebody mad at you. So that's again the 3-minute and 30-second shifts. We'll bring on new players, and again, just a great way to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to get on the floor, see the game. The coaches don't have to worry about subbing in, subbing out. Everybody gets a shift. Everybody gets a chance. And we're just getting ready now for the next shift to begin. So a fresh 3:30. And it'll be the Rockets to inbound with Niera DeVoe. Niera DeVoe turns on the Jets now. Nice spin move in the paint. Turns back, puts the shot up off the front of the rim. Several players there trying to grab away that rebound. And it's going to be Steelers ball. Back goes Liz LeBlanc. LeBlanc gets the ball into the hands of her teammate McCray. McCray now looks to get set up here in the half court. McCray. Aggressive defense there as McCray being hounded by Niera DeVoe. Again, just very, very aggressive defense being played by both teams. Steelers look to inbound. LeBlanc. Liz LeBlanc looking right now. Where's she going to go with it? Tried to get it into McCray. It went off the foot, actually, of McCray and out of play, so that'll be Rockets ball. Malaya Simmons inbounds to her teammate, and Simmons dashes down the floor while her teammate Niera DeVoe brings it up. Niera DeVoe into the defense now of McCray. Now we got a pile of players there trying to get onto that ball, but it's Shania Colley stepping back high off the glass. Getting the rebound there was Madeline Foote, and we're going to get a foul call here. And the Rockets going to go to the line to shoot a couple. Madeline Foote. I just heard somebody in the crowd call out Maddie, so I've got a daughter, Madison. I call her Maddie. So we'll go with Maddie Foote. She wears 35 for the Rockets at the line. And the first one, just a little short, hits the front of the rim. She'll re-rack here, get ready to shoot her second. Niera DeVoe is tying up the kicks. Referee making sure they're tied nice and tight. Foote with the second, bit too strong, and rebounded by McCray. Good job by McCray, grabbing that ball off the iron. Now McCray, coast to coast, puts on the brakes. Baseline, McCray tries to put it up, took the hack there from Niera DeVoe. DeVoe did a good job of staying with McCray step for step right along the baseline. That will send the Steelers to the line. Or no, it won't, excuse me. It'll be an inbound, or will it? Nope, it is free throws for Marley McCray. 2:47 left in this shift. McCray sets. And couldn't get the friendly bounce on the first. McCray getting set here. The back end of her 2 free throws. And success, so 1 for 2 on that trip for Marley McCray. And another point on the board for the Steelers. Now Niera DeVoe being watched by McCray. Niera dribbling in traffic. Now she'll cut it inside, right down the lane, put the shot up a little too strong. And a great job underneath by McCray, taking the rebound and getting it to Liz LeBlanc. LeBlanc with pace, right to the bucket, puts the shot up, takes the contact, and she's hacked in the act of shooting. So great job there, first of all, by getting the rebound underneath by McCray, and then getting it to LeBlanc, who went coast to coast, got the shot away, took the contact, and she'll go to the line. First, a bit too strong. Piper Grant comes over, says that's all right, as does teammate Sophie Gagne. That one, and the bounce off the glass and down. So a 1-for-2 trip there for Liz LeBlanc. With pace, look at Nayara DeVoe going coast to coast herself. Her shot was off the mark, rebounded by Simmons. Malaya Simmons watches that ball bounce out of play. Rockets inbound. Now it's a race for it as the ball went over the head of Simmons, and look at Simmons. Ouch, my knees hurt just watching Simmons dive across the floor there after that loose ball. And it'll be Liz LeBlanc to inbound here for the Steelers. McCray. A little stutter step, turns on the speed. Defender for the Rockets fell as Simmons went down. And then on the other side, Nayara DeVoe went down as well, and it'll end up being Rockets' ball. Madeline Foote gets it quickly into Nayara DeVoe. Nayara DeVoe turns the back to the defender now, going left-hand dribble, then right-hand dribble. Puts it into the hands of her teammates Malaya Simmons. Simmons tracks the ball into the corner. Being watched there. Good defense from Gagne, draping herself over top of the ball carrier. Sophie Gagne. Good defense there in the corner, and it's going to be Liz LeBlanc to inbound. And McCray takes a step, tried to feed it into the corner. Maybe just a little miscommunication there. May have been trying to connect with Piper Grant, but the errant pass goes out of play, and the Rockets quickly get it inbounded. And this is Malaya Simmons. Simmons now slows the pace. Now she picks it up, gets it across the timeline into Shania Cauley. Look at Cauley trying to take that ball down low to the baseline. Good defense there. And Cauley lost the handle, but it'll be Rockets' ball to inbound here. Trying to get it to DeVoe, Nayara DeVoe. Again, turning the back. Right-hand dribble, then left, then back to the right. Crowd there underneath. Taking it away was Cauley. Tried to get a shot up. And it's going to be West End Steelers' ball. So good action underneath. And it's the Steelers who get to inbound it. They'll bring it up the floor with McCray. Marley McCray to the left hand. Trying to take it in strong. Spins, fires. Just a little bit too heavy as it hit the far side of the iron. But again, good work there from McCray down low, getting the shot away for the Steelers. Madeline Foote, right in front of me to my left, will inbound for the Rockets. Gets it to Nayara DeVoe. DeVoe right into the defense of McCray. DeVoe stops, puts the shot up. Goes over top of the basket, ball loose. And the Steelers will grab it. This is LeBlanc. Liz LeBlanc to McCray. Here's McCray again, being watched closely there by Nayara DeVoe. And DeVoe gets in the way and just, I think, may have stepped out of bounds. So it'll be Steelers to inbound. Liz LeBlanc. Liz LeBlanc being watched by Madeline Foote on the inbound. Underneath, McCray puts it up. Didn't quite have the range on that, but a good setup. Getting the inbound to McCray underneath for the Steelers. They'll try it again. Liz LeBlanc looking again. There's a cutting Sophie Gagne. Tries to take it inside, lost the dribble for a second. Reaching down is Cauley trying to pick it up. Tough defense there by Cauley, and it's Rockets' ball. Here's Maddie Foote. Stops, now she'll take it off to the right wing, cutting inside, looking for space, goes to the left hand, rolls it around, and down for 35 Foote. So two more for the Rockets. McCray tried to feed it inside, turned over. Nayara DeVoe now taking it down to the right wing from the elbow, dishes inside, long shot, down, it goes off the glass and in. Maddie Foote Back-to-back buckets for the Rockets. 35 El Fuego for this Rockets club as the chirp sounds to end it. So a good end to that particular shift by the Rockets, and in particular, Matty Foote. Let me check with our unofficial scorekeeper. What do you got for us there, producer Clark? 9-8 for the Rockets. A run late put the Rockets in front. And again, unofficial score. So getting ready for our next group to come on here with that, again, unofficial score of 9-8. So it'll be Steelers to inbound. Nora Enright waiting for it. May Rodney. This is Rodney with the dribble. Goes up high into the hands of Olivia Thompson. Thompson couldn't control it. And back the other way come the Rockets. Ball up ahead now for Malaya Monroe. Monroe nudging the defender, backing down, turns, fires off the inside of the rim. And now Monroe goes from playing offense to defense as the Steelers bring it up the floor with Rodney. Rodney spinning away from the defense and double dribble. So it's a turnover and it'll be Rockets ball. Nayana DeVoe will inbound to Malaya Monroe. Malaya Monroe. One-on-one, Rodney the defender. Monroe versus Rodney. Malaya Monroe still with the ball. Little cheeky handoff there to Ruddick. Shot just off the mark. Grabbing it underneath is Kiki Lucas. Lucas underneath, right there off the glass, and down is Monroe. Nice feed from Lucas to Monroe underneath the basket. And Monroe kisses it off the glass and down. Steelers back the other way. Bounce pass. Gabby McLean trying to control it there against a couple of defenders. Referee doing a nice job coming over. So it'll be Steelers to inbound. Nora Enright being watched by Lucas. Gabby McLean in a crowd. McLean cuts to the inside, tried to take it underneath the basket. It ends up bouncing right into the hands of Thompson. Olivia Thompson missed on the first one. Rebound chances up, takes a couple of bounces off the rim as May Rodney put the shot up. Now it's Monroe. Malaya Monroe. Good defense there from Rodney. And back comes Gabby McLean. McLean with the left-handed dribble, trying to take it in strong there against Ruddick. Lots of speed on the floor both ways. Nora Enright looking to inbound against the defense of Kiki Lucas. There's Thompson. Hands it off to Rodney. Rodney down to the floor. Malaya Monroe coming over, trying to steal it away. And it'll be Steelers to inbound. Enright again against the defense of Lucas. Trying to hinder the inbounds pass. Fed to Rodney. Rodney turns and fires a little bit too strong. And it's Malaya Monroe. Up the floor is Monroe with speed, right wing. Monroe nudging down the defender, puts the shot up and gets the good bounce off the rim and down. Good work by Malaya Monroe. Two more for the Rockets. Here come the Steelers now. This is Rodney. Tried to bounce it inside to Thompson. Thompson, though, had fallen. And now back the other way once more time is Monroe. Monroe slips down on the floor. And I think we got a foul call perhaps there on May Rodney. And it'll be Rockets ball to inbound. Nayana DeVoe feeds it in. Big crowd there just underneath the basket. Shot is put up. And contact on the shooter. And we're going to get, I believe that was in the act of shooting, so we should see free throws here for number 21, Molly Ruddick. One of the assistant coaches on this team is Jade Ruddick. And we've got Molly Ruddick at the line. Ruddick drew the contact. There's the first. Had the right range, just a little off to the right. So Ruddick gets set here for the back end of the two. That hit the back of the rim. Good job rebounding there by Enright. Nora Enright now will bring it up the floor. Monroe, again with the aggressive defense there, right on top of the ball carrier, Enright. Rockets playing that smothering defense. Niana DeVoe. In for Malaya Monroe. Malaya Monroe being watched there by Rodney. Monroe, again Rodney puts hands on Monroe. Good work here. Malaya Monroe in a crowd, hands it off to Ruddick. Ruddick turns into the middle, long shot from the top of the key, and Niana DeVoe is money for the deuce. Steelers now in transition, trying to get an answer here, bouncing it inside. And a battle for it on the floor. Gabby McLean right in the middle of it, along with Malaya Monroe. There's 40 seconds to go here in this particular shift. So both teams over to their respective benches here. 40 seconds left in this particular shift. So coaches going through their instructions with their team. And right now, we've got an unofficial score, 15-8. Thank you, producer Clark. So again, unofficially, we've got 15-8 in favor of the Rockets. So the Steelers were leading for a while, but they had a run with Madeline Foote doing a lot of that work, getting some good offensive zone time. Got a couple of back-to-back buckets. And then the last couple of minutes, the Rockets have been playing that smothering style defense and have also been able to count a couple of more baskets. So what was a 9-8 score not long ago, now the lead has expanded again unofficially to 7-15-8. So just 40 seconds left in this shift. Coming over to inbound, Niana DeVoe, just to my left. Niana protected me that time. That ball would have hit me if she hadn't caught it yet. Niana DeVoe inbounds to Monroe. Malaya Monroe wearing the 33. And looks like we may have a timeout here. So just 36 seconds, left in this shift. Just want to remind you, our final game coming up after this one, it'll be the Slam versus the Bedford Eagles. Bedford Eagles, the host team, went through the round robin with a good record, so the first and second place teams will hook up and go head to head just after this matchup between the Rockets and the Steelers. So everything looks to be okay here as the teams head back to the floor. And once again, it'll be Niana DeVoe to inbound. DeVoe bounces it now to Malaya Monroe. Monroe, Rodney on defense. Monroe in a crowd, protects that ball, gets the shot away somehow. She took it off the glass and the rim, and the rebound comes down into the hands of Marley McCray. Steelers now quickly into the half court. McCray to Gabby McLean. McLean looks for some space. Dribbled off to the left, and she'll take the contact. So foul called on the Rockets, and Nora Enright will inbound for the Steelers. Kiki Lucas, aggressive there, protecting that inbound attempt, and it gets knocked out of bounds right into the bench of the West End Steelers. Quickly, McCray steps back, puts the long shot up, just a little short, and the ball goes into the hands of Kiki Lucas. And the two number ones came together, and it's McCray who gets the shot away too strong as it hit the back part of the iron. As that particular shift comes to an end. So both teams will head to their benches for a second, get a little coaching, get some hydration, and get ready to come out for the next shift. So we'll step aside, take a quick break. You're watching Maritime Athletic Profiles coverage of this U10 game in Bedford between the Steelers and the Rockets. We'll be back. So just about set here for the second half. Unofficially, we have our score at 17-8 for the Rockets. Now, if you're watching the live stream, tell your friends, tell your family, tell folks, because even some of the coaches here in this particular game didn't know that this game was being live streamed. So share it out. Let everybody know that they can go to Maritime Athletic Profiles and watch the game. Share the YouTube link out and let folks know that this is being covered and they can watch as we see that shot put up by Maddie Foote. Foote was good in that first half offensively. She's got the ball again, puts the shot up off the side of the rim. So again, 5 3-minute and 30-second shifts make up a half. Thought it was 4, but it's 5. So we are into the first shift of this second half. And again, 3-minute and 30-second shifts. And again, that allows the coaches to focus on their game planning, their in-game coaching, et cetera, and not have to worry about subbing players in and out. Of course, if someone is hurt or an injury, that's different. But the 3-minute and 30-second shifts give all of the players an equal chance to get on the floor and play and be part of the game. So a good way to kind of get everybody into the game and playing. So again, just a quick timeout here. Just 32 seconds into this first shift of the second half. Scott Squires, the Maritime Athletic Profiles crew, glad to have you along here for this game. Want to remind you, we've got the first and second place teams from this weekend of action playing in our next game. It'll be the last game of this weekend. It'll be the Bedford Eagles taking on the Slam. And again, that game follows shortly after this one. It was scheduled for a 4 o'clock tip-off, but again, it'll be quickly following the conclusion of this particular game. So both coaches again over having a chat, so we'll just wait for the two teams to head back onto the floor. They're just about to do that now. The Rockets huddle has broken up, and the Steelers back on the floor as well. So it'll be Marley McRae to inbound. Niera DeVoe keeping a close eye. And it goes. Shot from about 8 feet, rattles in and out. Letting it go there was McCauley. Back the other way with pace is Foote. Foote dishes inside. Trying to get the shot up there was Niera DeVoe. And DeVoe battling for that ball. Trying to grab it away from Meredith Rigby for the Steelers. And it'll be Charlie Bond-Hill inbounding for the Rockets. Bond-Hill, good job getting it over top of the defense and into the hands of Niera DeVoe. DeVoe turns on that pivot foot, tries to feed it inside, gets it underneath. Zaylee Lawrence was there, couldn't get the shot to drop for her, and now McRae back the other way, lost the handle on the sideline with Niera DeVoe providing the defense. And it will be Niera DeVoe to inbound. So Niera DeVoe into the hands of Foote. Maddie Foote. The high dribble, tried to work it inside. And they're going to call the foul on Liz LeBlanc. So Foote will inbound. Foote being watched by LeBlanc, who just committed the foul. Nice dish to Lawrence. Lawrence double team on her. Good pass. Shot put up there by DeVoe, and the rebound is put back by Lawrence. Zaylee Lawrence with the offensive glass and the putback. Liz LeBlanc tried to feed it inside. Lawrence is there, though. Zaylee Lawrence closely watching the ball as she brings it up the floor. Feeds it inside there for Niera DeVoe. Her shot a little short, and it'll be Steelers ball. Liz LeBlanc calling out to her teammates as she brings the ball across the timeline into the half court. McCauley tried to get it back there to LeBlanc. LeBlanc has it now. LeBlanc, top of the key, bounces it back out to McRae. McRae cuts inside, tried to get the shot up, and Lawrence defensively got a hand on it and blocked the shot attempt, and here comes Niera DeVoe. Inside to Foote. Foote charging her way in, gets the shot up, takes the contact, and it looks like Maddie Foote's going to go to the line as she was hacked in the act of shooting. So Foote to the line. Unofficial score at 19-8 in favor of the Rockets. Madeline Foote readies at the line. And just a little short on the first attempt. She'll re-rack now for the second. Shot is up. And nothing but net on the back end, so she's 1 for 2 on the trip. Madeline Foote's good offensive day continues for 35 in black for the Rockets. Meredith Rigby tried the bounce pass. It's turned over. Here comes Nayara DeVoe. Inside, there's Foote again. Tried to kiss it off the glass. The bank wasn't open on that attempt. And the Steelers will bring it back with McCray. Quick outlet there to LeBlanc. Liz LeBlanc going inside of Foote, puts the shot up. And they're going to get Foote for the contact coming in behind there on LeBlanc. So Liz LeBlanc to the line. So Liz LeBlanc with the first. And banks it off glass and in. Back in now, looking to go 2 for 2 on this trip. Just a bit off on that second one, so 1 for 2 on that trip to the line for Liz LeBlanc. And away comes Lawrence, Zaylee Lawrence. Throws it to Foote. Foote dribbles off to the right. Steps back, puts it up, tried to bank it off the back part of the glass. Rebound underneath as Lawrence grabbed the offensive glass. Couldn't get the putback. And it's the Steelers who'll come away. Marley McCray lost the handle, does a good job of staying with it though. Gets it back to LeBlanc. Liz LeBlanc charging down that right sideline. Taking it in against Foote. Good work there from LeBlanc down to the floor. Works it back to Rigby. Rigby now dribbles up to the top of the key. Gets it back once again to McCray. McCray cuts to the inside, dishes back up high. Rigby goes to the right hand, takes the contact. So good sequence there by the Steelers, keeping possession, moving that ball around. And then finally it was Rigby getting hacked in the act of shooting, and Rigby goes to the line for 2. A little bit too strong on the first. And the second rattles around, couldn't get the friendly bounce, but the Steelers do a good job grabbing that rebound. Inside, trying to get the shot up was LeBlanc, and it was blocked down. Just a couple seconds left here in this shift as we are into the second half of play. From the line, again, it's LeBlanc. Get too strong on that first one. Teammates come over to dap her up, get her set for the back end here. And LeBlanc nicely banks it high off glass and down. So 1 for 2 on that trip, and the Steelers, we're going to inbound here. This is Bond Hill with the ball. Rockets now into the half court, and just as the chirp of the clock ends the quarter, or excuse me, ends the shift in this second half. So both teams to the bench quickly, get some coaching instructions, do a little hydration, and we'll be back in just a second. Unofficially, your score, 20-10 Rockets in front of the Steelers. We'll be back. So, our next shift out on the floor. And Shania Colley will inbound. And it's Malaya Monroe. Malaya Monroe spins away from the defender. Tried to cut it inside, steps back, puts the shot up. Hit the left side of the rim. Good job grabbing that offensive rebound by the Rockets. Ruddick trying to find some open floor. Gets it into the hands of Malaya Simmons. Simmons turns, gets it to Monroe. Malaya Monroe down low. Took some contact. So they call Monroe for the offensive rebound, and the Steelers will bring it up. May Rodney quickly into the half court, cuts off to the right. Rodney from the elbow. Trapped down there, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Look at the defense from Malaya Monroe. And it'll be Steelers ball, but again, just smothering defense coming from the Rockets. In that particular case, it was Malaya Monroe. Steelers inbound, trying to track it as Rodney couldn't get to it before it went out of bounds. So it'll be turned over to the Rockets, and Malaya Simmons will inbound to Malaya Monroe. Monroe calmly now across the timeline into half court. Malaya Monroe. Now back to the defender. Tried to just hand it to Malaya Simmons. Ball loose. Grabbing it off the deck is Enright. Works it up to Gagne. Sophie Gagne does a good job controlling that ball. Stays with the dribble. And then charging in from behind is Malaya Simmons. Knocking the ball away. Nora Enright will inbound. Steelers looking to get defensive stops here and score points of their own to chip away at this current lead, which right now stands at 10 for the Rockets. Enright. Colley trying to stop the inbound. Ball goes back, tracking it is Grant, and that's an over and back. So it's turned over to the Rockets. Malaya Simmons will inbound and gets it to Monroe. Monroe, again, dashes quickly off to the left. Monroe stops, puts the shot, or maybe I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass. Good pace on that. I think she may have gotten kind of caught betwixt in between when she went up. Do I pass it? Do I shoot? And it ended up being a quick pace pass that went out of play. Steelers ball. Rodney coming over to try to rip it away was Malaya Monroe. And they're going to call the foul on Monroe. Nora Enright to inbound. And timeout called here with 2:15 to go in the shift. So the two teams will head to their respective benches. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching Rockets and the West End Steelers right here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. We'll be back. Eagles, home of the Eagles is where we are here at Bedford South, and the Bedford Eagles will play in our next game. And quickly taking it inside, Piper Grant. No mistake, beeline for the basket, off glass and down for the bucket. Malaya Monroe puts it into the hands of Shania Colley. Colley right into the defense, off the foot, ball loose. Down it goes. Gagne looking to pick it up. She does. Gagne couldn't get the shot away as Shania Colley did a good job getting back on defense. Rockets to inbound. Malaya Simmons to Malaya Monroe. Monroe puts on the Jets. Monroe right down the lane. Stops, puts the shot up. Too strong. Rebound loose. Grabbing it there. Turning, firing. Rockets, great job getting that offensive rebound. Couldn't get the putback, and then the whistle blows. Let's see now. I think that call going against the Steelers, so it'll be Shania Colley to inbound for the Rockets. 1:33 left to go in this shift as we are in the second half of action of this game between the third and fourth place teams, the Rockets and the West End Steelers. Ball loose, grabbing it there is Colley. Colley dribbling to the top of the key. Good defense there from Enright. Staying with it though is Colley. And they're going to call Colley, I believe, for the offensive foul. Coach Nathan Carvery, I believe, asking the referee how come his players can't back people down. And if I'm reading the gesture of the referee, he's saying, well, it was a push off. There was a push with the arm, and that's why the offensive foul call was made. Now the referee is going to come over, have a chat with the coaches on the Rockets sideline. Score currently stands at 20-12. Rockets in front. This has been an entertaining game so far. Lots of speed, lots of very aggressive and good defense being played as well. You can tell that both these teams well coached. And listen, at a young age, if you can get the fundamentals of defense down in basketball, you can work on the rest of that stuff as you get older and grow in the game. But if you can get defense and get the fundamentals of defense locked in at an early age, that will do you well in the game of basketball as you grow and go along in the sport. And from what I've seen so far in this game, the fundamentals of defense being taught pretty well on both sides. So getting ready to inbound is Nora Enright. 1:20 to go in this shift. 3-minute and 30-second shifts they play. 5 in the first half, 5 in the second. We are in the second half. Taking it inside was Enright, trying to get the shot away, and Shania Colley says, nope, not on my watch. Enright to inbound. There's Colley hounding on defense. Gagne couldn't corral the inbound. We're going to try again. Enright to inbound. There's Colley again. The jumping jack defense, but they do get it underneath. That shot high off the glass from Rodney wouldn't drop. And the Rockets in transition looking to bring it up the other way. Malaya Simmons took some contact there and went down to the deck. So Malaya Simmons inbounds to Malaya Monroe. And this is Monroe using the left arm to push off the defender. Steps back, puts the shot up. And hit the side of the backboard. Once again, Monroe backing down the defender, turns on the pivot foot, looking for somewhere to go, puts it into the hands of Colley. Colley trying to get the shot away. She does. Somehow Nora Enright was right in her grill, slapping on that ball, and somehow Colley got a shot away. And the rebound grabbed by the Steelers. Trying to dribble up with it was Grant, and it goes out of play. Malaya Simmons once again inbounds it to Malaya Monroe. Monroe methodically across the timeline into the key, steps back, puts the shot up a little bit too strong, hit the back of the rim. Rebound bounces free, and there you saw Monroe trying to grab that ball away from Gagne. And it'll be Steelers ball. Gagne sprinting down the floor, getting ready as her Steeler teammates get it in. This is May Rodney. Monroe out quickly on defense. Rodney trying to split through all the defenders, ends up getting the ball right back, tried to dish it off, but it's intercepted and turned away. Here comes Malaya Monroe. Monroe tried to take it coast to coast, went right into the defense of May Rodney, and the ball went flying out of bounds. Colley to inbound. There's a shot put up high as the quarter comes to a close. Molly Ruddick had the last second shot, wouldn't drop for her. So another shift winds up here as we make our way through this second half. The score stands right now, Rockets 20, Steelers 12. Getting ready for the next shift to check in here. Coming up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, local time. We are in Bedford, Nova Scotia. Glad to have you with us wherever you're joining. Scott Squires, the Maritime Athletic Profiles team. Glad to be here, live streaming, broadcasting this game and then the final game of this weekend event. Next game coming your way shortly at the conclusion of this one. It'll be the Bedford Eagles taking on the Slam. Nice crowd on hand here at the gym, Bedford South School, home of the Bedford South Eagles. So, just about set to get underway here as we work our way through this second half. Sadie McCauley for Gabby McLean. Gabby McLean watching the dribble now, goes to the right hand to the left hand dribble. Now McCauley backing down the defender. McCauley lost it, picks it right back up, throws it to Liz LeBlanc. LeBlanc baseline, back to McCauley, shot put up and just off the mark. Good job though by LeBlanc, tracking that rebound underneath. Works it there for McLean. Gabby McLean tried to get through the defenders, but it's taken away by Nayana DeVoe. DeVoe tried to get into the open floor, but McLean, good job getting back on defense and getting in the way. So I think there's some discussion here. That last shot so I'm not sure if they're saying that the ball went through the basket or what the discussion is here. They were actually pointing to someone who's sitting along the baseline down to the basket to our left, and there was some discussion. Again, I'm not exactly sure what it was about. However, they've given possession to the Rockets, and we're back underway. Inside, nice pass for Lawrence. Lawrence tries to get the shot up, just lost it off the fingertips. And I think they're going to say that Zaylee Lawrence took some contact there trying to get that shot away. So I think they're saying that the Steelers actually got a bucket. They're saying that there's a hole in the back of the mesh, and our producer Clark, maybe we'll get a look at it in our next stoppage here. He has a replay actually of that contested shot that I guess it was a parent who actually pointed out that it went through a hole in the back of the mesh. So it should be 2 more on the board for the Steelers. So I believe that's now 20-14 as we see that ball bouncing around underneath. Trying to grab it is Kiki Lucas. But back the other way with speed, Liz LeBlanc, coast to coast. Shot hindered just a little bit as she couldn't get it away cleanly. And now Foote charging right back in transition. Foote double team, ball to the floor. Foote trying to protect it. And it'll be Rockets to inbound. So listen, good job by the parent down there to point that out. Both coaching staffs chatted it over with the official, and they said, sure enough, bucket Steelers. And that's 2 points that the Steelers need. Underneath, putting it up was Lucas. Couldn't get it to drop for her. Now it's McCauley into the hands of LeBlanc. So just a 6-point lead now. 2-possession game as that shot goes over top of the basket. Grabbed by McLean. Gabby McLean into the hands of McCauley. McCauley into the paint. Turning away from the defender. Dishes up for Rigby. Good possession here now. Rigby takes it down low. Rigby up against the much taller Lawrence. Hands it back. Baseline shot is up and nothing but net. 2 more as McCauley drains it. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-point game as the Steelers are now within 4. .147 to go in this shift. Part of the second half. This is Foote. Now the Rockets have seen that double-digit lead now dwindle to just 4. And here come the Steelers again with Gabby McLean. Gabby McLean puts on the brakes, hands it back. Long shot off the left side of the iron. Letting it fly there was LeBlanc. And now the turnover there on the mishandle from Lucas. So it'll be Steelers ball. Sadie McCauley getting set to inbound here. McCauley being watched by Niana DeVoe. McLean lost the handle. Lawrence picked it up. And the play whistled down. So it's Rockets ball. Niana DeVoe to inbound. And this is Foote. Madeline Foote. Cross half court. Foote dribbles off to the left. Tried to work it in. Good defense there by Gabby McLean over on that left side. See our camera operator Spencer down there tucked into the corner. No, he's not in trouble at school. He's just down there doing camera from the corner. Here's Lawrence underneath trying to force it up and in, and she does. Good work from Zaylee Lawrence using that height advantage down in the low post, getting that ball up and down. Back to a 2-possession game, 6-point lead, 22-16. Gabby McLean. Now we get the chant of defense, defense coming from the Rockets bench. There's a shot put up and a beautiful release from Sadie McCauley. Nothing but the twinkling of the twine. 2 more and the Steelers back to within 4. Trying to feed it inside underneath again. There's Lawrence trying to use that frame rebound to Lucas. That's a solid presence underneath down in the low post for the Rockets with Kiki Lucas and Zaylee Lawrence. And it'll be Kiki Lucas who will go to the line to shoot all important free throws here. It's a 4-point game, and again, unofficially, 4-point game. I want to point that out. That's by the count that our producer Clark is keeping track here as we go along. So again, please keep in mind the 22-18 we're showing you is unofficial. Lucas from the line. Little off the mark on that one. And it'll be Steelers ball to inbound. So the Steelers looking to inch a little bit closer here. Some of the fans starting to get into it now with chants and cheers for their respective clubs. Rigby hands it off, trying to get the shot up there was McCauley, who had it blocked down underneath the weight of the defense from Niana DeVoe. So I think we're going to have free throws coming here for McCauley. So again, free throws always important, but they take on an even bigger role and bigger focus when you get down into the late stages of a close game. Here's McCauley. Oh, gets the friendly bounce on the first. Well, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And that's 1 of 2 on this trip. McCauley with the back end. Off the back part of the rim, long rebound. Chasing after it there was Niana DeVoe along with Liz LeBlanc. And it'll be Rockets to inbound. So 22-19 is the score we've got as Maddie Foote brings it up the floor. As the crowd gets even louder, now Foote puts it up over top of the basket. Lucas with the rebound. Lucas puts it up over top. Now to the other side. Foote banks it off glass and down. Great sequence there. A couple of offensive rebounds for the Rockets. And Foote gets the putback basket. And it's back up to a 5-point lead. That shot goes over top of the basket. McCauley tried to grab the rebound. 24-19, the unofficial score by our Maritime Athletic Profile count. Working with it, Nayana DeVoe. Nayana DeVoe close to the baseline, puts it up top for Lawrence. She turns in a crowd. Getting a hand on it was Rigby, and the Steelers will grab the ball. They'll look to bring it up the floor quickly now with McCauley. And as McCauley goes right by the timekeeper on the far side, the quarter comes to a close. So we'll get a fresh shift out here, and we'll step aside for a quick break. 24-19 Rockets up by 5. Back underway here. West End Steelers with the ball. This is McCray. McCray gets a little pick there from Piper Grant. And handing it off to Gagne. Gagne looking for an opening, tried to make a move. Lost the handle and the ball went out of bounds. Getting into the late stages of this game. 5-point lead for the for the Rockets over the Steelers. Gagne tried to work it inside, ball turned over, and the Rockets come up the floor with DeVoe. This is Nayara DeVoe. DeVoe trying to dribble away from the defense, gets into the hands of Ruddick, and then it was Simmons who lost it, and the Steelers will bring it up. Getting right in the way, though, was Ruddick. Good defense from Ruddick, but then sticking with it, that was number 28, Nora Enright. So the other thing about watching these players is they don't give up on the play. I've seen lots of instances this afternoon of players hustling back on defense and making good defensive plays. Again, they've got the fundamentals of the defensive side really well done. Going to be Rockets ball here. Nayara DeVoe to inbound. Malaya Simmons. Malaya Simmons dribbling into the defense now, turns her back to the defense, puts it into the hands of Ruddick. Ruddick turns on the foot, gets it to Colley. Colley feeds it off. DeVoe turns with it. Nayara DeVoe gets it to Simmons. Her shot just off the front of the rim. Great job in position there to grab the rebound was Grant. Now it's Enright. Steelers trying to find a way to get an opening and a bucket. In defensively there was Shania Colley. There was contact. So Steelers to inbound. McCray with the ball, dashing off to her right. Bounce pass into the hands of Gagne. Working at baseline, Gagne in a crowd down there. Works it back to McCray. Play right on the baseline. McCray being hounded there as Nayara DeVoe in on the defensive side. And then both players end up going down to the deck. 1:45 to go in this shift. Late stages, second half, and we've got a timeout called here on the floor. So we'll step aside, quick break. 24-19, unofficially your score, and we've got the Rockets in front. You're watching Maritime Athletic Profiles. So out of the timeout, it'll be an inbound for the Steelers. Piper Grant. They'll toss it in. Grant looking for somewhere to go. Bounces it beautifully done on the inbounds, and Nora Enright on the receiving end of the pretty inbound play. And it's a deuce for the Steelers as they inch a little closer. Just a one-possession game now. Niera DeVoe. Turning, defense coming from McCray. Crowd around the ball, shot put up, letting it fly was Ruddick. And the rebound, or the loose ball I should say, ends up in the hands of Simmons. Here's Malaya Simmons. Working with it over on the sideline to our right. Great defensive play there from Gagne. There's that defense on display once again. And it'll be Steelers to inbound with Piper Grant. She'll bounce it to McCray, Marley McCray. Across half court. Long pass up ahead into the corner. Enright couldn't quite get the handle on it. And it'll be a Steelers inbound. 1:01 to go in this shift. Late stages, second half of a 3-point game. Should again stress, unofficially, our count has it 24-21 for the Rockets. Working with it is Simmons. And the ball will go out of bounds. Steelers to inbound again. Piper Grant. Now Marley McCray. Running point here. McCray to the left hand, to the right hand, back to the left hand. Tries to cut down the left wing. Puts on the brakes. Dishes back to Grant. Grant cuts to the inside, taking it toward the basket. Puts it up and in! Great work there by Piper Grant, taking it to the right and putting it off glass and down. It's a 1-point game. Good pushback here in this second half by the Steelers. Niera DeVoe, the chant of defense, defense now going up from the Steelers faithful. Working with it is Simmons, puts the shot up, let the hand dangle in the air for just a moment, and the shot just off the mark. And we've got a timeout, it looks like here. So the teams will head to their respective benches. Steelers, with some pushback here in this second half, have taken what was once a 19-8 lead for the Rockets and have made it a 1-point game again, unofficially, but the Maritime Athletic Profiles team, we've got the score at 24-23 Rockets. We'll be back. Steelers to inbound, Piper Grant in this extremely tense matchup between the Rockets and the West End Steelers. Marley McCray dashes in, puts on the brakes, stops, hands it to Grant. Good defense getting in the way though was Ruddick. Ruddick puts on the brakes quickly just as the shift comes to an end. Not much time left now in this second half of a 1-point game. 24 Rockets, 23 Steelers, in a game that has seen a little bit of back and forth and a little bit of ebb and flow, where the Steelers kind of took charge in the early part of this game. Then the Rockets, on the back of Matty Foote and some good offensive possessions, kind of swung the momentum back their way. And in the latter stages here of the second half, it's been the Steelers who have pushed back and have taken this now to a 1-point contest, 24-23. So they're just sorting a couple of things out. We'll take another quick break. Be right back with you on Maritime Athletic Profiles. At the timekeeper's bench over on the opposite side of the court at half court. Coaches from both teams are there, as is the head official. Now again, I'm not sure if they're talking about what the score is officially or timeouts or whatever, but certainly some kind of important discussion going on as a lot of folks leaned in over at that timekeeping table on the far side having the discussion. Again, not sure what it's about. From a score perspective, I've been reiterating throughout, the count that we have is certainly unofficial. It's being tracked by our producer, Clark, who is also doing the technical end and the main camera work. And again, so the score that we have, 24-23, that is unofficial, with the Rockets being in front. And again, I'm not sure what that discussion was over at the timekeeping table, but whatever it was, it seems to be sorted out. Perhaps I should say sorted out, as I think maybe, so the referee over now, making sure that we're good to go here. So the start of a shift, and inbounding it is Nayana DeVoe for Malaya Monroe. Here's Monroe. Being watched closely, turns, fires, tried to bank it off the glass. It goes glass, it goes rim, and then the rebound grabbed by the Steelers. This is McCray. McCray making a dash down the right wing, tried to cut it to the inside, and took the contact. No basket, no basket. The referee's whistle clearly going before that shot was put up. So it will be Steelers ball and an inbound with Sadie McCauley. Crowd here at the Bedford South Gym certainly in full throat now. Lots of cheering, chance of defense going up. Eagles working with it. McCray falls. Coming over to help out there was Rodney. Rodney bounces it back to Marley McCray. McCray from the left wing. Dribbles down low, trying to find somewhere to go, backing away from the defense of Nayana DeVoe. McCray cuts into the paint, takes it to the baseline, puts the shot up, and I think they're going to say shot clock violation. So again, it's hard to tell because they're not keeping score on the clock and they don't have a shot clock either, so relying on the referee for that as the Rockets bring it up the floor with Monroe. Malaya Monroe in a crowd. Nayana DeVoe. Nayana DeVoe trying to work around. And I think we've got a too much time in the key violation, I think. It was the 3-second count. So it's a turnover. The referee calling it to the letter of the law here. Steelers on the ball. McCray again. Marley McCray. She's handled a lot here. Baseline up and in. And the Steelers, with Marley McCray sinking the basket, have taken a 1-point lead. 25-24. Steelers in the lead for the first time in quite some time. Shot from the baseline, rattles and goes down as Malaya Monroe answers right back for the Rockets. Now the lead seesawing back and forth. Rockets in front again by 1. Bounce pass inside to McCray. McCray trying to do some dribbling with one hand to the other down to the floor. A couple of Rockets defenders trying to get in there and take it away. Nayana DeVoe and Malaya Monroe both there. And now it's going to be Nayana DeVoe who will inbound for the Rockets. And again, we have 26-25. That is quite unofficial. That's strictly our count, as we don't have access to what the official timekeepers have for a score. That is our Maritime Athletic Profiles unofficial producer Clark count. The PCC, the producer Clark count. 26-25 Rockets. They'll inbound. You can cut the tension with a knife here at the gymnasium in Bedford South School. Eagles and Slam up next, but right now, late stages of the Steelers and the Rockets. Rodney, that's McCauley putting the shot up. Underneath, grabbing the rebound was McCauley, couldn't get a clean shot up. Ball loose, McCauley there on top of it, hugging it, trying to work it, and she does. Great work by McCauley. McCray from the baseline takes the contact. But how about the work there by Sadie McCauley, not giving up on the ball, surrounding it on the floor, protecting it from the defenders, and then finding a way to get it into the hands of Marley McCray. And McCray hacked in the act of shooting, and now McCray goes to the line. But a lot of really good work there, offensively by McCauley. And that first one a bit too strong off the back of the rim. Chance to tie. Referee coming over, getting a little separation there between McLean and Monroe. McLean for the Steelers, Monroe for the Rockets. Second shot here from McCray. Looking to go 1 for 2. Gets the high bounce underneath. Good job boxing out there by the Rockets. Monroe gives way to Lawrence, and Lawrence, and the ball turned over. So it'll be Steelers ball here with Sadie McCauley to inbound. Waiting for it is Rodney. This is May Rodney. Dribbles up into the defense. Dishes off there to McCray. McCray again, we've seen her do this before. Dribbles in, tries to go baseline with it. Decides to get it back up top with a key. Long shot off glass, off the iron. McCray, rebound. Flying in on the defensive end was Nayana DeVoe. And I think DeVoe going to get tapped with the foul for the contact, going up and coming down onto Marley McCray. Sadie McCauley to inbound. Anxious moments here with the Rockets up by 1. 49 seconds showing in this shift. And we're seeing a 1-for-1 substitution here as the DeVoes switch places. Nayana out, Nayara in. One DeVoe for the other. Meanwhile, Steelers to inbound. Here's McCray. She's been handling that ball quite a bit, the floor general for the Steelers team. In with it is Rodney. Dishes off, long shot there as McLean put it up and takes the contact. To the line, Gabby McLean with a chance to tie. 26-25. Rockets, the slimmest of margins, up by 1. First of 2 for McCray. Banks in the first. We are tied. A chance now for McLean to give the Steelers the lead. Gabby McLean from the line. Couldn't quite skip it off the top of the rim. Off the rebound, back the other way comes Monroe. She lost the handle on the dribble and turns it over to the Steelers. So again, unofficially, our score, we have it 26-all, tie game. Steelers Rockets, timeout on the floor. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching Rockets and West End Steelers locked at 26. You're watching Maritime Athletic Profiles. How about the job producer Clark has been doing, keeping score all game long? So we are indeed tied 26-all. Nail-biting time here at Bedford South School. A packed gymnasium. Here's McRae inside off the glass for the lead, and the Steelers are up by 2. And the coach from the Rockets, apoplectic right now as he comes running off of the Rockets bench to come over and complain about a call to the official. Not happy at all. So emotions running high here in the late stages of this game between the Rockets and the West End Steelers. The Steelers have just taken a 2-point lead. It now stands 28-26, and how about the work of the Steelers in the second half? And certainly Marley McRae, it's a team effort, but certainly McRae has had the ball in her hands quite a bit, and she has made it count, and she has given the Steelers the lead here in the late stages of this second half. So emotion running high. Rockets will have to put that in the back pocket and refocus here as the ball will be put back into play here shortly. Both coaching staffs delivering the messages to their side. 28-26. What a back and forth game we've had here in the latter stages of this second half. What a dandy, and what a great way to introduce U10 basketball to our viewers on Maritime Athletic Profiles. Again, if you are watching and you haven't shared the link yet, please do so, because we've got the rest of this game and, of course, our next game between the first and second place teams, the Bedford Eagles, the hosts of this tournament, and the Slam. And if it's as good as this one, buckle up. It's going to be fun. Steelers to inbound with McCauley. Lucas watching on the inbound. Good job getting it in there to McLean. McLean dashing down right toward the baseline. Good defense there from Nayara DeVoe. Back the other way now comes Monroe. Monroe trying to take it coast to coast. Lost the handle as Rodney was there defensively for the Steelers. Steelers to inbound. Rodney brings it up the floor. A 1-point lead for the Steelers. 2-point lead, 28-26. They're looking to stretch that lead. From the baseline, long shot, little bit too strong, and the rebound grabbed as Kiki Lucas got a hand on it. And the shift comes to a close. Now the question is, I'm not sure if that was the final shift, if that was the fifth, or if there's one more to come. So that does appear to be the final. I wasn't keeping track of how many shifts had been played. Again, it's 3-minute and 30-second shifts, 5 per half, and this one had been such a breakneck pace down the stretch that I wasn't sure if that was the end of it or not. So if that is indeed the final shift, that is a victory for the West End Steelers as they really pushed hard in the last half of that second half. Full marks to both teams for putting on a great show, a great effort by both clubs. And it ends up being a 2-point victory for the West End Steelers over the Rockets. But again, score truly doesn't matter. A great performance put on by both of these teams, and certainly the future of women's basketball in this province in good hands with young players like that coming up through the system. So just a few minutes left here as they wrap things up in this one, and then we will have our final game on this Sunday. It is the final game of the tournament. It will be the Slam taking on the Bedford Eagles. So we'll stay live here for a few more minutes, but for myself, I'll step aside for a second, take a little break before the next game. Once again, your final in this one, the West End Steelers pull out a 28-26 victory over the Rockets. But a great game and a great performance put on by these two teams for the folks here in the gym, as well as for those of you watching on Maritime Athletic Profiles. You can certainly share the link for the next game coming up. We'll have that for you, and I'll have the call. But until then, I'll step aside, take a break, and say so long. We'll be back with the next game in here in Bedford in just a little bit. Once again, your final, Steelers 28, Rockets 26.